There's a dinner party at the local mansion tonight, but you might want to reconsider the invitation. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 cannibals in scary movies.
Got us human meat, and we got the hunger.
The hunger?
Mm-hmm. That's how you become a cannibal, D.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're whetting our carnivorous appetites by looking at horror movies where flesh is the main course. Zombies and vampires won't be sitting at the table with us, nor are we including characters who were forced to eat other humans, or were unaware of the ingredients in that juicy mystery meat set in front of them. We'll also be using a spoiler alert as an appetizer, with a side of mature content warning. And with that said, let's eat!
Costs a lot to be here. Costs you an arm and a leg.
Number 10. F.W. Colqhoun, Ravenous.
And we were soon hungry again, only this time our hunger was different.
Back in the late 1800s, cross-country travel was much more treacherous, and when your trusty wagon broke down, you might have been left with interesting food alternatives. Such is the case for F.W. Colqhoun, who first shows up at Fort Spencer with stories of a wagon train led astray and stranded in the mountains in need of rescue.
My wagon train grew lost in the Rockies.
I've heard this story before.
I ate 5 men in 3 months.
A man with an elaborate plan to back him up. He feasts on the helpful soldiers one by one, only to return to the fort as the new superior officer, ready for the second course.
I said no food, I didn't say there was nothing to eat.
Luckily, his plans to turn the place into his personal restaurant don't work out, but it might make you think twice about stopping at that shady cabin for a night's rest.
Feels a number of us could use some rest.
Number 9. Ruby, Gigi, and Sarah, the Neon Demon.
Who wants sour milk when you can get fresh meat?
Aspiring model Jessie catches the attention of several people in the industry, including makeup artist Ruby and models Gigi and Sarah. With all the attention she's gaining, the three ladies become quite envious of her natural beauty and seek to make it their own.
She has that thing.
The problem is, these ladies subscribe to the belief that in order to gain someone's powers, or in this case beauty, all you need to do is make a meal of them. They say the modeling world is cutthroat, but we don't think this is what they meant.
Are we having a party or something?
Number 8. Nick and Lily Laemle, parents.
I thought I'd tell you a little story. Want to hear a story? I'll tell you a little story, and I want you to shut up until I'm finished.
Sweet people.
Every child has that moment where they wonder if they're really related to their parents. For Michael, this is especially true when he starts to suspect his parents might be cannibals. A meat hook in the basement, a father who works with corpses, and then there's that time he thought he saw his father biting his mother. In a perfect world, this would be a case of an overactive imagination. Maybe Michael misinterpreted the sinister image in front of him, but after a while, he's convinced. And so are we. Those leftovers are not safe, especially when it's mystery meatloaf for the 4th time this week.
What are we eating?
Leftovers, honey.
Leftovers from what?
From the refrigerator.
Number 7. Klaus Wortmann, Antropophagus.
Evil on this island. An evil that won't let us get away.
Greek island trips are supposed to be relaxing, and for the purposes of this list, full of good food, right? In this Italian film, Klaus Wortmann is a tragic figure that stalks the island inhabitants for his next meal. Yes, we said we weren't including characters forced to eat people, but after Klaus feasted on his wife and child in order to survive a shipwreck, he found himself hungry for more. Even when faced with his own death, he can't help but go after his next bite, while the 1999 remake saw a character based off him, Nikos, getting to go in for seconds. This is one exotic trip we can take off our bucket lists. Number 6. Saul, Doomsday.
Whoever they send here, we're gonna catch them. We're gonna cook them. And we're gonna eat them.
When a killer virus wipes out most of Scotland and what's left is quarantined behind a high stone wall, real food becomes scarce. Humans in the walled city split into groups to survive, and of course, one of those groups is a gang of human barbecue-eating cannibals who'd be right at home in the Mad Max universe.
Oh, lady, I could eat you right up.
Saul, their leader, is equal parts grunge rock star and insane warlord, bent on making his way over the wall to take over London. And he's got an army of followers armed with tricked-out cars and insatiable appetites who will help him do it.
This is our city!
Number 5, The Mountain Men, the Wrong Turn franchise.
Someone is trying to kill us, please! They've murdered our friends, they're after us right now!
Some people prefer living in the wilderness to avoid the busy city life. It's nice, peaceful, and the perfect place to catch unsuspecting tourists for your next meal. This mutant, inbred family of cannibals can be found in a remote forest in West Virginia, and over the course of numerous movies, they've made unsuspecting travelers regret their decision to step into the woods.
Into the woods, to grandmother's house and home before dark.
To make things worse, the family members seem to be immune to pain and are constantly recovering from fatal injuries in favor of pursuing their finger-licking good targets.
Help me!
While several mountain men come and go over each installment, Three Finger is a constant threat, so when you hear his maniacal cackle, you'd better run, though it's probably too late. Number 4, the Mutants, aka Hill People, the Hills Have Eyes franchise.
You fat juicy.
Mutant cannibals don't just live in the forest, they also live in the deserts of Nevada or New Mexico, depending on which version of the movie you watch. Mutated from exposure to government radiation testing, in the 2006 remake at least, the family lies in wait for weary travelers, and when you're in their sights, not even your pet dogs will be able to protect you. What makes this group even creepier is that their stories are based on a real-life historical cannibal named Sonny Bean. Bean, from Scotland, was suspected to have killed over 1,000 people with his clan. Best just to avoid all deserts, forests, creepy gas stations, and Scottish caves altogether.
I'll eat the heart of your stinking memory.
Number 3, the nomamö and the Shamatari Tribes, Cannibal Holocaust. These two tribes are the antagonists in this infamous found footage movie, or so we're told. When Professor Harold Monroe and his team are sent to the Amazon to discover what happened to a missing news crew in their footage, they discover that things aren't really that simple. For some, the movie was influential enough to warrant making a film in its honor. We're looking at you, Eli Roth. Others found it so stomach-churning that the director was brought up on snuff film charges. Fortunately, he was able to prove that he didn't really kill the actors and actresses involved. But we can't blame people for thinking the gruesomeness was a bit too realistic. We suppose it's called a Holocaust for a reason.
Oh, good Lord! It's unbelievable.
Number 2, Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise.
Stop!
The chainsaw and that misshapen patchwork mask have become iconic images in the horror genre. Leatherface comes from a family of cannibals in the back roads of Texas. They have a penchant for catching their meals live, next to gas stations with empty pumps and those less than helpful attendants who tend to permeate horror stories. While Leatherface is more apt to follow his family's orders than to outright decide to chase you on his own, that doesn't make him any less threatening, especially since he was inspired by real-life cannibal Ed Gein.
What Leatherface really is Ed Gein as a little child would imagine him to be.
Before we clear the dishes from our horrific dinner and get to our dessert at number 1, let's serve up these honorable mentions.
Oh, and Paul?
Yeah?
Do you think you could buy another frying pan? I'm just a little squeamish about cooking in the one we're using to kill people.
Number 1, Hannibal Lecter, the Hannibal Lecter franchise.
I want you to help me, Dr. Lecter. Yes. I thought so.
Arguably the most infamous cannibal in cinema history, there are no tribes, deserted back roads, or inbred families here. Instead, you have a sophisticated gentleman who's more interested in a good Chianti than chasing you with a chainsaw. Of course, the wine will be served with your liver.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Hannibal Lecter is so manipulative that it's damn near charming, and there's nothing more unsettling than actually needing his assistance. Be sure to stay on his good side, if he even really has one, and never go to his house for dinner, no matter how good the food looks.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.